Hey you guys, what's up? In today's video, I'm going to be trying out the brand new ColourPop X RawBeautyKristi Collection. I am so excited about today's video because I did not know that I was going to be getting this collection in the mail. So whenever I got it, I literally freaked out because I was going to go ahead and buy this collection myself. It does launch today at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I was going to order this, but then I got it in the mail. So I'm going to be showing you guys everything that comes in this collection. I'm going to be doing 2 different eye looks with the eyeshadow palette. I'm going to be showing you guys swatches of all of the shades. I'm going to be doing lip swatches of both of the lip glosses. So yeah, I will be doing arm swatches, and then I'll also be trying out everything for you guys on the face. So really quickly before we get started, I would really appreciate it if you would give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Also, I'm going to have a brand new giveaway up very soon, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And also, please make sure you guys click the bell next to the subscribe button so you can receive a notification every time I upload a new video. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, can we just talk about how cute the PR box is for this collection? So before we try out everything on the face, let's go ahead and do some close-ups and swatches of everything. All right, so first up we have the eyeshadow palette. This is the At Forest Sight palette. The price of this palette is $20. I absolutely love the packaging. It is so cute. And then here are the gorgeous shades. There are 12 stunning shades in this palette. Here is a close-up of all of the shades. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and swatch all of the shades on my arm. So we're gonna start up here on the top row. So first up we have the shade Puffball right here. So here's the shade Puffball. This one is described as a mid-toned tawny brown. Next up we have this shade right here called Chanterelle. And this one is described as a very warm-toned light orange. Next up we have the shade Rainier. I hope I'm saying that correctly. This one is a really pretty kind of rusty red shade. Next up we have this shade right here called Old Growth. This one is a really pretty kind of light mauve-y pink shade. Then we have the shade right here called Evergreen. This is a stunning duochrome shade. It is duochrome with green and brown flecks in it. Next up is the shade right here called West Coast. This one is a very vibrant yellow toned gold. Now I'm going to swatch the shade Homegrown. This one is more of a deep warm toned brown. The next shade we have is this one called Amanita. This one is a very deep, kind of maroonish berry shade. Next up we have the shade called Fiddlehead. This one is an olive green. Then we have the shade Emerald City. This one is a very pretty matte emerald color. Now I'm going to swatch the shade PNW. This one is a gorgeous, really deep matte blue. And then the last shade we have is this one right here called Let It Rain. This shade is almost like a black shade with copper glitter in it. So here are all of the shades from the palette. I will try and show you guys them up super close. Next up in this collection, we have 4 Super Shock shadows. These are each $7. This first shade is called Olympic, and I freaking love this packaging. How cute is this? This one is kind of a champagne topper shade. I love the way these feel. So there is the shade Olympic. That one is so pretty. Next up we have the shade Mycelium, and this one is more of a pink shimmery shade, and this one is also more of a topper. Look how creamy these are. That one is also stunning. The next shade is called Like a Moss, and this one is a duochrome. It's kind of a green and brown and gold type duochrome shade. Such a pretty shade. And the last Super Shock shadow shade is called Campfire, and this one is a stunning kind of reddish rusty orange shade. Wow, that one is so pretty. I love that. So here are all of these Super Shock shadow shades. Next up we have 3 cream gel liners, and these are also each $7. Here are all 3 of the shades. First up we have the shade Marigold, which is a mustard yellow. Wow, that one is very vibrant. I don't think I own a liner like this, so I'm really excited to try this one out on the eyes. Next up is the shade Spare Time, and this one is a forest green. I love that one. That is such a pretty shade. And then the last eyeliner shade is called Woodsy, which is just a mid-toned kind of deep brown. I actually love the shade of this because it's not too warm, but it's also not too cool. Here are the liner shades up close. And the last thing we have in this collection are the 2 Luxe Glosses, and these are each $9. Here are the 2 lip gloss shades. First of all, this packaging is literally everything. I love it. So the first shade we have here is called Wildflower, which is a really pretty kind of like soft pink nude. So there is that shade. Then we have the shade Glacier, which is such a stunning color. This is like a clear gloss with glitter in it, and it's like super glittery. It's so pretty. Hopefully you guys can see that, but these are so pretty. Here are the gloss shades up close. All right, so now that you guys have seen close-ups of everything, we're gonna go ahead and try out everything on the face. First, I just wanna say a huge congratulations to Kristi for this amazing collection. I know this was like a huge dream of hers, and honestly, it's so amazing, such a dream come true. So the first thing I'm gonna do is prime my lids with my P. Louise base, just like I always do, and I'm just going to kind of blend this out all over the lids. So I'm first gonna be starting out with the eyeshadow palette. I wanna do a more like green blue eye and then a more like warm toned eye with these shades. Honestly, there's like so many looks that you could do with this palette. I'm like sitting here looking at it and I can't decide what I want to do because there's like so many different things that I could do. So I think I'm first going to go in with the shade Amanita right here. This one is just like calling to me, and I'm just going to kind of draw out the shape of my eye with this shade. I'm also gonna bring this under the lash line. It's gonna start off looking really crazy, but I promise by the end, it'll be fine, hopefully. Now I'm gonna pick up the shade Rainier, I don't know if I'm saying that right, on like a little blending brush, and I'm just gonna start blending this above. I feel like I need to do more than 2 eyes. I'm also going to blend a little bit of that along the lash line. Now I'm going to take the shade right here called Old Growth, and I'm just going to blend that once again right above the lash shade and along the lower lash line. So I went ahead and cut my crease off camera. Now I'm going to take the Super Shock shadow in the shade Olympic, and just with my finger, I'm going to apply this on the inner part of my lid. Next, I'm going to apply the shade Mycelium, and I'm just going to kind of put this on the rest of my lid. Even though these are like considered topper shades, I feel like they have like really good pigmentation that you can just wear them on their own. So here is the first eye look. I almost like don't even want to apply a mascara or anything because I kind of want to take it off and do like another eye look. I think I want to do like 4 eye looks for you guys. I was originally only planning on doing 2, but now after like looking at the palette, I really want to do more than that. But this one is just like a kind of typical cut crease with like berry shades, and I love the lid shades. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one off before we do this eye because I feel like the berry shades might stain my lids a little bit. All right, so maybe trying to do 4 looks was not like my smartest idea. So maybe I'm just going to do 3 because my lower lash line is like stained and everything, and I feel like if I do that again on this eye, they're all just going to turn into a mess. So now I'm thinking I want to do more of like a green eye. So I'm first going to take the shade Emerald City, and I'm going to kind of do the same thing, first mapping out the shape of my eye. On my other eye, on the last look, I'll probably start from lightest and then go dark. Whereas on these 2 eyes, I'm gonna start dark and then go light. This shade is gorgeous and it has really good pigmentation. So now I'm gonna take the shade Fiddlehead right here, and I'm just gonna start blending this into the crease, just like right above the lash shade. Next, I'm gonna take the shade right here called Puffball. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that shade and I'm gonna kind of blend it above the lash shade. All right, so I went ahead and kind of did like a messy cut crease off camera. Now I'm going to take the shade Like a Moss, and I'm going to apply this with my finger. That's just how I like to apply these Super Shock shadows. And I'm just going to put this on the inner part of my lid. That is such a pretty shade. And I'm going to apply the shade Evergreen to the rest of my lid. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and do my lower lash line off camera, apply some mascara, and I will be right back. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and apply some false lashes to this eye, but while the glue is drying, I almost forgot about the liners. So I'm gonna apply the liner in the shade Spare Time, which is that kind of like deep forest green, and I'm just gonna put this all in the waterline. All right, so my green eye is now complete. We have lashes on, so now I'm gonna go over to this eye, and I really wanna use the more like warm tone shade, so I'm gonna start out with the shade right here. This one is that really pretty kind of like mustard yellow, and I'm just gonna start blending this all throughout my crease. I'm also going to blend this along the lower lash line. Now I'm going to take that kind of like rusty red shade again, and I'm just going to kind of start on my outer corner and then blend this into my crease a little bit lower. I'm also going to kind of press this up against the lower lash line a little bit closer. Now I'm going to take the shade Homegrown, and I'm just going to kind of keep this over here on my outer corner just to deepen it up. For this eye, I'm not going to like cut my crease or anything because I don't really feel like it's necessary. So now I'm going to take the shade West Coast, and I'm just going to start applying this. Oh my gosh, look how pretty that shade is. My brush is like not even wet or anything, and that is like metallic. You guys know I love the ColourPop like shimmery eyeshadow formula. It's so good. Wow, I'm like obsessed with that. So now I'm going to take the Super Shock Shadow in the shade Campfire, and I'm going to put this on the rest of my lid. So while we wait for the lash glue to dry again, I'm going to take the eyeliner in the shade Marigold, and I'm going to apply this on the inner part of my lash line, probably almost on my entire lash line. And then because I do want to use everything, I'm going to take the brown shade and I'm going to put this on the outer part of my lower lash line. Alright, so now that both eyes are done, we're going to go ahead and try out both of the lip gloss shades. I love the way that the eyes turned out. So first up, we're going to swatch the shade Glacier. Okay, these smell so good. So here's the shade Glacier. It's just like a clear gloss with glitter in it. This one looks really pretty by itself, but it also would look great over any kind of lip liner or lipstick. And now I'm going to swatch the shade Wildflower. So here is this shade. This one is also a really pretty kind of like light shade that would look good on its own or over a lipstick or lip liner. I really like this one. And the ColourPop lip glosses are not like too sticky. They are a little bit sticky, but they're not like as sticky as some other lip glosses. So yeah, that is everything in the ColourPop and RawBeautyKristi collection. Honestly, I am blown away. I love every single thing in this collection. Obviously, the eyeshadow palette is my favorite. I love the color story of this palette, and you can create so many different looks with this palette. Also, I was really surprised how much I like these Super Shock shadows. I do like generally like the ColourPop Super Shock shadows, but these shades were just so good. I really loved how all of them looked on the eyes. So yeah, a huge congratulations again to Kristi on this amazing collection. Honestly, I'm in love with everything. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. So yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Also, make sure you guys stay tuned for my next giveaway. That'll be up very soon. And also, before you guys go, please make sure to click the bell next to the subscribe button so you can receive a notification every time I upload a new video. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.